That's why I love you. There's nothing more to say. My heart is beating. I love you. You are my everyday. I'm never leaving. I love you.
And what is popping, your boy RaJuR Deep Cool? Bam! Thanking the Most High. The opportunity to be here again to see you. Hopefully y'all doing well. Let me see if I can scoot this around so that light is not blasting you in the eye socket. Or let me see if I can close it up a little bit. Hold on just a second.
That's why I love you. There's nothing.
You know what? I don't feel like reaching back there to do that. I got an interview coming up, so I got to make sure. How about that? Is that better? That's even worse, ain't it? Let me turn this way. Is that good? No, ain't no way. There's no way. Ain't nothing good. Light just coming through. So let's just deal with it. Let's deal with it going through. Again, gotta get ready for this 10 minutes before this Zoom interview. So I'm looking forward to that, all right? But again, hopefully everybody's doing well. Let's get right to it. I don't have a lot of time. I got 5 minutes. Kind of want to get to the interview. Bam, bam, boom. Amber Kiso. Let me hold it up in front of the light. Amber Kiso, what we doing? Spraying this joint out full day. Full holler at your boy. Got to run around a little bit. Got to go to the silver store and get rid of some silver because now it's $1.50. I paid that just for this ring alone. No, I mean, no. I had a whole bunch of jewelry I bought. I already sold that already, my bracelets. Now we're going to sell this, and I got some other stuff I got to take to the shop. So, yeah, we're going to spray this out and get ready to get this interview, because if we get an interview and we get a job, then maybe I don't have to sell my stuff. But at this point, it's tough, man. It's tough out here, bro. Try to live like a king and everything, but then all of a sudden, you ain't getting no work from the job you'll be getting work from. That's why a lot of us who retire, we end up, doing other jobs because we still want to kind of live that same life we was living when we was a scepter. But man, this joint I got right now, first it was lovely. Now all of a sudden this joint is whack. I'm barely getting work. And all it takes is something like this snowstorm, and now I'm back at zero again, man, like almost a month with like 3 pieces of work. So this is what it is, man. I'm glad I have some assets that I can cash in and make these bills paid, because it's cool, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right? So in the meantime, Amber Kiso, I'll have to explain it. It's the leather. It starts off as, I thought it was a smoky amber, and it kind of can be a smoky amber in a sense, but not necessarily. It's not really a smoky amber, but it is popping off. But it's that leather, man. It starts off like, okay, it's going to be sweet. Oh, it's like that. But, and all of a sudden, it's get that leather just a little bit of time to sneak in here and make that thing pop. And that's exactly what happened. That leather kick in, and it is on and popping. That's what it's going to be. So that is it for me here. I'm going to pull up a couple things on my computer just in case they need me to do some things. Like look up some stuff. I want to make sure I'm cool. Go back here and take a little wee wee, because I don't have to get up while I'm taking this interview. So we're gonna do that. So I got 3 more minutes. Hopefully everything works out well. I'm pretty confident. A lot of jobs I've been going up to is like, I got the job. It's just a matter of, do I want to do that? This last one was crazy. Multi-level marketing, and you got to stand outside and hustle people to come and get keys, and that's cool, man. But nah, bro, I ain't starting that low. You know what I mean? I'm my own man when it comes to chauffeur, and that's why I took that job. I'm my own man with that. But yeah, other than that, bro, I ain't messing around, ladies and bros. That ain't popping. Let me see if I can. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I had time for that. Should have left that open. So let me get ready. Let me go take my restroom break and get ready to get down with this interview. If y'all I'll let y'all hear the interview, okay? Like I did last time. All right, so we're ready to sign into the interview. Let's go ahead on and hit it. Like to be 5 minutes ahead of time. Here we go with the name William. Team Kurt VB. Oh man. All right. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead on and join now. Thank you for joining us today. We are setting up. You are muted now. Tap to unmute. Okay, I've done that. Your host has muted you.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Are we ready already?
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Steve. Looking forward to having a chance to chat with you shortly. We got about 4 minutes before 1.
Okay.
So we'll give a few more minutes for everybody else to show up. I certainly appreciate everybody that shows up early. My grandfather was in the Navy, and in the Navy, if you were 15 minutes early, they thought that was on time. If you were on time, they thought that was late. And William, if you were late, you ended up with a lot of KP duty. So no KP duty for you folks. So
I was in the Navy as well, so I know what you're talking about.
We'll give a couple more minutes for everybody to get on. So William, can you see that slide all right?
I can kind of see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Can? Thank you for joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking yes. You're still on mute, that's why.
Yes, I can see it.
Lloyd, can you see that slide?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I got you.
I'm currently driving, but I'll be in the house in 5 minutes.
Okay, you can see the slide that I have up though, right?
Yes, sir. I can see it.
All right, perfect. I'll see you when you're safe and secure in a little bit then, all right?
Okay.
Let's see. We got Brian's out there, Tabitha's out there, Austin's out there, Kayla, Maria, Jake's out there. Hey, Jake, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You're out there in the sky, Jake. There's nothing but blue skies behind you.
I know.
Yeah, there you go. Janae, how'd they do with that? All right? 50-50 shot.
Yep.
I got it? Perfect. Shanika. Boy, that's a lot of letters in there. Am I pronouncing that all right? Shanika, how'd they do on that?
Yes, I'm good. You did good.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of extra letters in there. I'm not used to. So, Shanika, good to see you.
Well, if you want, you can call me. Y'all know that's fine with me.
All right. Maria, Cheryl. Is that correct, Cheryl? Or Cheryl? Cheryl? It's got 2 R's in it, so I'm thinking it's Cheryl. She's smiling at me, so she says, "Where's that stupid mute button?" By the way, everybody, Dan did put you on mute, so if you can't.
Hello, I'm Sherelle.
Sherelle, all right, good. I'm glad I got that. I was going to say, take a look and see where, Dan put everybody on mute just so we don't have any background noise, but take a look, see where it is. So if I call on you, you're going, "Oh, I know where that button is." So good to see you, folks. I got a couple more minutes. Here's Williams out there. I said hi, Brittany, Lloyd, Kenneth, John, Joshua, Catherine, Melanie. Melanie, I like that color that you have behind you there. I don't know what that is. Is that a blue or a purple? What is that?
Are you speaking to me?
I am speaking. Well, Catherine, your color looks good too, but I was speaking to Melanie Gomez there. What color is that, Melanie? She's not going to tell me. I know you already did that. You already gave me that. Wait a minute. Well, she's looking for the mute button, right? There's Joshua, Brittany. All right, good. Everybody's getting on here at the last second. That's good. Alfonso's out there. Holston, Kevin. Miss Silver, how do I say your first name? Is it Lysel or?
Good afternoon. It is Lisel.
Lisel. Okay, Lisel. Good to see you today. Good to see you. Alfonso, Bailey, Brandon, SOP student, Brandon. Awesome. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to get started at 1 o'clock. So my name's Steve, and I want to say, first off, thanks for everybody's time today. I appreciate giving me 56 minutes of your time so I get a chance to talk to you about the career opportunity I have with my great company. I've been working with this great company for 29 years. The company's been around for over 140 years, and it's a national company, and it's having exponential growth, and I'm spending some time today to see if there might be some future teammates out there. So I appreciate your time that you're giving me after everybody got shoveled out over the last day or so. Holy cow, what a mess. I'm originally from New England, so having snowstorms like that is normal, but I've been down here for 20 years, Alex, so I haven't seen a snowstorm like that since, I don't know, was it 06 or 08 or something like that? So I hope we're done with it, Brandon. I'm good. And so during my 56 minutes today, I'm going to give you a broad overview of the career opportunity, Tabitha. I'm going to do that by first, I'm going to introduce myself. Then I'm going to introduce the company. And then I'm going to introduce the business model and show you logically and very transparently why we're busy. And then I'm going to talk about the opportunity for, I'm going to talk about the opportunity here. And then we'll close out the meeting. I do want to be clear, though, Brandon. This is not a Q&A session today, Kevin. I'm going to give you information, Alfonso. You know, take the information. You're going to say, Warner, I think this is interesting. I'd like to go to the next step, Chris, and get some more information. So today, broad overview. If you should find this interesting, we find you interesting, then we'll set up a time to meet to answer your questions, Josh, okay? Because today, you guys don't know what questions to ask. We'd be here all day. So today, broad overview to see if it might be a potential fit, and then the second step to answer your questions, okay? That sounds like a pretty efficient process. As we have on the notes here, if you can make sure, it looks like everybody's got their name listed in the display box, so that's good, so we can keep track of who you are. If you can make sure your mic's on mute, I think Dan put everybody on mute, but if you're just joining us, make sure it is on mute so there's no background noise. Also, take a look, see where your mute button is so that if I call on you for something, you know how to come off mute and then go back on. And then, of course, be at someplace quiet so you can take some notes and listen intently of what's going on. Because I do consider this a first step in an interview process, Maria. I mean, you know, you folks coming in, I'm going to give you an opportunity to see what's going on. So I think this is like a first step of an interview. So with that said, I'm on screen, Austin, so I'm asking everybody else to be on screen. If I'm looking at your name in a black box, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if you're engaged and intrigued, and being on screen would be good, just like Brian is right now. Okay. All right. Let me see here, Catherine. Catherine, I like the color of your wall too. I don't know what this color is, but I could use it for a bathroom or something. It looks nice. I like it. So, Catherine, I'm going to start off first, though, before I get too far. I just want to break the ice a little bit. And this is how I'm going to break the ice. I want to show you folks this slide here. I want to show you this slide. If you folks are here looking for a job, you are in the wrong meeting. Cheryl, you're in the wrong meeting because I have no jobs here myself. However, I have careers here. So if you're looking for a career, preferably if you're looking for a career for life, Catherine, you are on the right call. Now, what I'd like to do, and I'm going to pick on Catherine because she's right in my screen here right now. So, Catherine, I'm going to ask you, there's no right or wrong answers, but I'm going to ask you when I say career for life as opposed to a job, what 3 words, adjectives, adverbs come to your mind that would describe a career for life? And again, it's your opinion, so there's no wrong answer. So what do you think, Catherine, when I say career for life, what comes to your mind? No pressure. You're first, but no pressure.
I guess growth. Advancement. I guess they're similar words.
No, they're kind of different. They're kind of different. Growth, advancement, and you get one more.
Opportunity.
See, there you go. Fantastic. Nice job going first. Jake, when I say career opportunity, what comes to your mind? Career for life, I should say, sorry.
Similar to Catherine's with growth, but also say culture, like a good work culture.
Oh, that's a good one.
And probably opportunity for like what's the word I'm looking for? It's the advancement and like your personal growth as well.
Sure. Personal, professional, financial growth. Okay, I like it. Opportunity, good. Awesome. Austin, how about you? Thanks, Jay. How about you, Austin? When I say career for life, 3 words, there is no wrong answer. Kayla, you're going to be up next, so be ready.
For me, I would say it's intent, loyalty, and progression.
All right. Awesome. I gave Kayla a heads up, and she just put her hands up on her face there. So, Kayla, there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer, Kayla.
I do have to go with what she said, growth, passion, hardworking. What else? Did I give 3 already?
Yeah. Passion, hardworking. Growth. Oh, maybe you said growth too. So, okay.
Yeah, I did say growth.
Good job. All right, there you go. Brian, career for life. What do you got?
Yeah, I would say dedication and purpose, and opportunity for sure.
Okay, good. I like it. Maria, you're last. Then I'm gonna move forward here. Maria, when I say career for life, what do you got? Oh, it doesn't say you're on mute, but I can't hear you. Oh, there we go. Go ahead.
I think
You are fading in and out with your internet streaming. So if you can hear me, that's good, but I couldn't hear you, Maria. Maybe I'll have you text it to me in a little bit. I'm going to ask Kenneth. Kenneth, how you doing? I'll give you a shot since I couldn't hear her. What do you got?
Doing fine, thank you.
Awesome. What do you got for career for life? 3 words.
Opportunity, commitment, and honesty.
Okay, awesome. That's a good one. William.
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
So I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nobody mentioned money. When I say career for opportunity, nobody mentioned money. Why is that?
Because you didn't get to me.
Okay.
Because you didn't get to me. Yeah, I worked for my job for 36 years. I'm retired, so but I'm ready to do some other things. But me, being the boss, being the owner, and making the money, and setting up a structure to do that. So those are 3 things I look forward to.
All right, good. I was going to say now, I have heard in the past, a lot of people don't bring up money because they feel like it's, being a little brash or maybe a little greedy. And I have to be honest with you, Melanie, I think what I'm going to get paid for the services I render is important. I think other companies, other jobs, Catherine, had made people feel guilty to talk about it, Brittany. They don't want you to talk about it. They want you to work as hard as possible and pay you as little as possible. That's what a job is, Melanie. That's what a JOB is. JOB stands for just over broke, by the way, if anybody wants to know. And I've had that. And I said, I'm done with the JOB. So today, I hope you folks don't mind, Kevin. I am going to speak about money a little bit, Joshua. I'm going to talk about money because I think money is a great way to reward people because that's what pays for the lifestyle you want for you and your family, Alfonso. Money doesn't make you greedy. That's how you pay for your lifestyle. We don't barter goats and chickens for gas and steaks, right? That's how you pay for your lifestyle. So I'm gonna spend a few minutes today talking about Brandon making some good money, and I hope you guys don't mind. Is that all right, Chris? Is that all right if I talk about money today? She says yes. Warren, are you all right if I talk about money today? All right, thumbs up. Good. All right, because I'm going to, so I hope you guys don't mind. Good. Also, if you didn't give me get a chance to give me your 3 words for Career for Life, I'll give you a chance at the end of the meeting. So I don't want you to think I forgot you. All right. Now moving forward. So I just wanted to break the ice a little bit. I also want to show you this. I want to introduce some of my teammates here, and I show you this slide. Chris, I show you this slide for 2 reasons. The 2 reasons I show you this slide is to be quite upfront with you is because, one, these are my teammates. I'm proud of them. So, I like talking about them a little bit here. And along with that, I like to talk about the fact, Rena, Miss Warner, what I want to be clear on is most of these people had never been in the industry before, Brandon. So most of these people are just like you folks, Warner, never been in the industry before. So I show you this slide so that you're not going, oh man, this sounds pretty cool, but I've never done anything like this before. How would I get experience? How would I do that? Well, guess what? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for people mostly what their drive is as opposed to what their background is. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a financial background, a teaching background, military background, healthcare background, sure, a lot of synergies and probably would help you move along a little quicker, Tasha. But, John, to be clear, if you don't have any of those experiences, that's great. As long as you're coachable, moldable, willing to put in a great effort, follow directions, we have a great a history of making people successful, like these folks here. And look at the tenure here. People have been around here for 38 years, 28 years, 20 years, 18, 21, 22. I mean, there's a lot of tenure here. So I show you this slide, Tabitha, because if we were to partner together, there's a lot of experience that you'd be working with, John. And I also show you this slide, Tasha, because we're just like you. 80% of us had never been in this business before, Alex, and I guess it was something in the water, because we're very successful now. So I wanted to show you that slide for that reason, okay? All right, with that said, so I do want to take a quick second to go to the slide, which should be popping up here. There we go. So I just want to take a minute to introduce myself. In a week, it's going to be 29, so I should probably update it to 29, right? Says I'm agency director, regional manager. I got to have some titles up there, Bailey, just so you know I'm real. But boy, I don't like titles. I'm not a big fan of titles. My favorite title down there says career coach. That's the title, Jose, I like. Coach. Now, that isn't my favorite. It's my second favorite because, Malika, you know what my favorite is? Dad. That's my favorite title. All right, that'll always be my favorite title because I take that one pretty seriously. But after Dad, Coach is a big one. And I like to work with my teammates. We have no bosses here. Lloyd, let me be very clear. There's no bosses here. We're here, Emily, to coach you and guide you to be as successful as you possibly can be, depending on how successful you want to be, right? So we're coaching here to help you grow your business, grow your knowledge. And that's not a boss, right? So I want to be clear on that. I think it was maybe Jake or somebody just before Jake. I got my notes here. I like to spend time developing my teammates personally, professionally, financially. Whenever I give advice, Emily, it's based on all 3 of those things, Jose. I think if you make a decision that's just based on one of those 3 things, it's probably not a good decision. I think you should have all of those factored in, Lloyd. So whenever I give advice, John, I always factor in all 3. Consult for millionaire. I kind of wanted to say that one too, Bailey. So I work with everybody, middle class, upper middle class, blue collar, white collar. I help everybody. Your parents and grandparents, ages 62 to 79. I'm here to help them all. But I also want to be clear. I do end up working with folks that become millionaires because guess what? Those are my teammates. This is a very lucrative career opportunity. So then I make sure that they are making sure their money is working for them, John, as hard as they work for it. So that's a big one, Brandon. That's the lifestyle changes, making sure your money's working for you. You know, most of the time at a job, you're paying for your gas and car and the rent and credit card bills. You know, a career is when you've got disposable income and you're having that disposable income buy you crypto, silver, gold, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. So your money's making you money. Well, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. You have to have an above average opportunity to do that. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit about me. Not to get too personal, but just a little bit more. So I have been married to my high school sweetheart, Carolyn, for a lot of years, Alex. That was the best sale I ever made right there. Without her, I would not be where I am. As I'm sure most of you folks know, a fantastic spouse, significant other is critical to success. My son Tyler and my twin daughters Taylor and Morgan. I have to be honest with you. Those what do we got here? 4 names? Yeah, I think those 4 names right there, Brandon, is why I get up in the morning. Probably like you folks, I'm motivated to provide my family with a great lifestyle, Tabitha. That's why I get up in the morning. I don't care if it's Monday, it's a snowstorm. I'm loaded for bear. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to perform, Alfonso, because I want to provide a great lifestyle for my family. And if you were to ask them what the last 29 years have been like, Chris, they'd tell you, pretty good. Dad works hard. Mom has been great support. But boy, we've lived a nice lifestyle, Dad. We do what we want when we want, as often as we want, whoever we want with, as much as we want. I mean, it's very liberating. Was a lot of effort, time, and energy put into it? Yeah, it's awesome. But the payoff is a great lifestyle. Along with being motivated to provide a lifestyle for my family, Alfonso, my other motivation is to be the best coach I can possibly be, Melanie. When I get up in the morning, I want to be the best version of myself, Kath. My teammates are more successful, Kevin. That's how I'm wired. And then lastly, my third motivator is, Joshua, is to provide my clients and customers the best possible retirement advice they could. So I got a lot of people I'm responsible for, and I like that. I eat that pressure for breakfast. I love it. It's very motivating, and I'm very driven to do that. So those are my 3 motivators. Now, when I take some time off, Brittany, I like to goof off and do a little golfing, which I'm going to be doing. I think I fly out tomorrow to Florida to do some golfing. So I'm looking forward to that. I like boating, investing, and I love cars. Brian, I don't smoke or drink, so I have to spend my money on something, and that's what I spend my money on, Austin, is cars. I got too many, and they're expensive, Kayla. I don't care, Jake. I like them. So that's my pastime, all right? And then last but not least, I like to spend time with my family, right? I work hard so I can play harder, and that's a little bit about me, all right? Now, if you were to ask me, hey, Steve, if you were to ask me this, I'm going to get to that slide here. There it is. There we go. If you were to ask me, Steve, who are you looking to partner with? If you could describe, Kayla, who is the person, Brian, you would like to work with? Here's who I'd want to work with. Here's who my teammates like to work with. All right. Probably who you like to work with, Maria. All right. So, William, I'm looking for hardworking, disciplined, and structured people, Kenneth. I'm looking for goal-oriented people. I love people that have a plan. I love people that are visionary and see down the road. I love people like that because then I can show them how to get there. I love that. Right. People that have a clear purpose, personally and professionally, it's a great person to partner with. I like working with people, Maria, that own their own personal development. They're just going, Steve, just tell me what to do. Ultimately, it's up to me if it's to be. Just point me in the right direction. Perfect. I love people like that. And then winning matters. Kenneth, I don't care if it's checkers or cornhole or getting my book report done first. I don't care what it is, Jake. I just like to win. I like to surround myself with Brian with winners. I'm sure we'll be keeping track of the score while we're golfing tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. And then we like to invest in our teammates, Austin, time and money. And then last but not least, Kayla, again, this is hard to find the companies that think like this, but we're looking to make sure you have balance. Make sure you have a good balance, right? So that's kind of what we're looking for. And we're also looking for people that are looking for some of these characteristics too. Now, I appreciate your career for life, but here's a couple other things that might resonate with you as I go through today's presentation. Folks have told me, Steve, I'm looking for flexibility. I'm looking for some autonomy, Brian. I like to have some decision-making in my career. Steve, I'd like to do something noble, Jake. I want to have an impact on people's lives. All right. I know that sounds a little warm and fuzzy, Melanie, but I think that's important. I like to work with people who want to develop, not be trained, but be developed, myself. People that want to leave a legacy or create a legacy for their family. I like working with people that enjoy a positive professional culture. I think that's an important environment. And recognition. Nobody ever mentions recognition, Joshua, but I'm going to talk about that. I think that's important in today's world is recognition. Recognizing people doing a great job, Warner. So I've heard that in the past from people too. So if any of that resonates along with what some of you folks told me about Career for Life, great. I think you're on the right call. I'm looking forward to having a chat with you about it. Okay. So with that said, I want to introduce you to my company. So my company's name is C&O Financial. And if you haven't heard of us, well, that's okay. I bet you wish you had bought some stock in us 10 years ago because you'd be smiling or you probably wouldn't be working right now. But the company's doing very, very well, Chris. This is under our umbrella, these companies, PMA USA, Washington National, Direct Path. Probably haven't heard of those companies. That's okay. Colonial Penn, you probably have, right? Sister company down in Philly. Probably not Bankers Life or Bankers Life Advisory or Security Services, unless, Alfonso, you've been working with your parents and grandparents, helping with their pre- and post-retirement planning. Then you probably bumped into us because that's our specialty. If you haven't, that's okay. Again, we've got 250 offices across the United States, 30 billion in assets, been around 140 years. So, this isn't some operation we just opened up over my garage last year. All right, Miss Warner, we're rocking and rolling. We're having exponential growth. Even for a large company, having exponential growth is amazing. Now, along with our company, these are the other companies we work with. You probably heard of some of these: Cigna, Humana, Coventry, Aetna, United Healthcare, IBX. Okay, and along with those companies, if I put everybody together, along with those companies, I also work with Prudential, MetLife, Vanguard, BlackRock. We work with all those companies, so I can help Warner. I can help your parents and grandparents, Alfonso, with a very holistic approach for their pre- and post-retirement planning. I'm not a one-hit wonder. I educate, I guide, I coach, and I have all these companies to utilize to come up with solutions, Alex, when I'm helping with the retirement planning. So this is a big deal. So if you folks are looking to work with a big deal because you're looking for some security and tenure, yeah, me too. 29 years ago, that's what I was looking for, right? So that's our under our company's umbrella. And I want to break it down to a smaller piece here. If you were, Tabitha, if you were to ask your parents and grandparents, depending on your age, probably your grandparents for you, if you would ask your grandparents, hey, Graham, what is your biggest concern about retirement? This is what she'd say. I'm concerned about my health care. And she'd tell you, I'm concerned about my wealth care. Those are the two things, Tasha, those two concerns, health care and wealth care. Really, without proper health care planning, big bills will show up and all of a sudden you're burned to your family. They don't want that to happen. And if you don't have your wealth care planned on, all of a sudden you're running out of money and now you're living with the kids. I mean, they don't want that either. All right, Terrell. So they want to make sure healthcare and wealth care, Malika, are well taken care of. So if you look at this on the left-hand side, it's Bankers Life. That's our healthcare division, Jose. Okay. And if you look on the right-hand side, Sherelle, you'll see that it's Bankers Life Advisory and Security Services. That's our wealth care division. So think about this. My company is specifically aligned, John, Lloyd, in the two biggest concerns your parents and grandparents have. Okay, we are absolutely aligned properly, Brandon. I think my company is pretty clever, Dylan. And it is, and has been pretty clever for the last 29 years I've been here, right? So knowing that we're specifically aligned, my partners and I are looking for people who would help your parents and grandparents in your communities, advise them on their pre- and post-retirement planning. So I do want to be clear, I'm not just speaking for myself, I'm speaking on behalf of Sean and Greg, Eric, Carl, Kurt, Shane, Linda, Noy, Rich. In our divisions, in our areas, we're looking for people to partner with. And that's what I'm going to describe for you today. So with that said, I want to break this down just a little bit smaller. So Lloyd, BSO 1056, that's my regional office. I'm speaking to you right now. Kenneth, I'm speaking to you on top, what are we on, the 10th floor here of the Parkview Towers overlooking the Valley Forge Casino, which is in King of Prussia. It also overlooks 422 and all the potholes on, as you folks know, on 422, what a mess. Now, along with this being the regional office, John, these are the areas that we are having exponential growth, and we're looking for folks to partner with us in these areas. Bensalem, Newark, Williamsport, Salisbury, King of Prussia, Allentown, Dover, Scranton, Bethlehem, Wyomissing, Philly, Westchester. I mean, it's just huge demand for what we do. So if you folks live and want to work in those areas, perfect, because guess what? Our clients like to know they're being represented by a large company, John, but they also like to know that their representatives are close by. Right? I know I like to have my teammates close by. People representing me, I like them close by, right? And so it's the best of both worlds, Malika, because it's a large company, and these people might see you, Alex, at the local Wawa. Maybe they'll see you at church. Maybe they'll see you at Giant during the week, and they like that. So if you live and want to work in these areas, Tabitha, perfect, because that's where we're having some great growth, Alfonso, which is what I'm going to talk about today as I talk about the business model, Catherine, okay? And again, folks, Kevin, don't hesitate. Take some notes. Take some screenshots. My goal is to create some questions today so that you go, I need to get my answers here, and then we'll talk about how we go about getting those questions answered for you, okay? All right, so next slide. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be a little transactional here, Joshua. When I went to school, I got my degree in accounting and business, so I'm pretty transactional. with a lot of passion, though, Kevin. I love what I do, right? But I'm going to break this business model down very perfunctory, very transparently to you so that you go, well, Alfonso, that makes a lot of sense, Steve. No wonder you're working there. Okay. So let me break it down. First thing I want you to be clear on is I'm going to talk about why we're busy. Okay. So I'm going to talk about why we're busy. The market we deal with is growing and they're wealthy. They have very specific needs. I have great training development, Kevin, so I have great advisors, Joshua, so people want to do business with me. It's an awesome income style opportunity. People work hard because they get paid what they deserve, Alfonso, so they're very motivated. And again, that money, Joshua, creates a lifestyle. It isn't money just so you put it in the checking account and go, wow, look how much money I got. No, it's to create a lifestyle for yourself. And then I'm going to talk about recognition, and then many of you folks, Melanie talked about advancement. I'm going to talk about advancement. However, Catherine, it's advancement based on you. Okay, not how long you've been there, who you know. It's based on you and your results, the way it should be. And there's no glass ceilings here either, right? Male, female, doesn't matter. How'd you do? How you doing? That's how people are advanced and promoted in our company, which is the way it's supposed to be. How about that, Austin? Right? All right, so I'm going to break it down like this. So first off, I want to talk about our niche. This is our niche. Our company specializes in this market, and it is these folks here, the baby boomers. So before the baby boomers started retiring a few years ago, Jake, it was the greatest generation. So I was helping folks, 20 years ago, the greatest generation, as they moved from their working lives to their retirement lives, Kayla. And then about 8 years ago, the baby boomers started rolling into retirement. Now, the baby boomers are all those people born between 1946 and 1964, Austin, okay? So they are the wealthiest and fastest growing segment. I'm just going to be clear, Jake. If I were to open up a business, I would want that business to cater to people that have a lot of money to protect or invest. And I want to deal with people that the population gets larger and larger every year, right? Every day. I was in the restaurant business, Caleb. Before we'd open up a restaurant, we'd take a look at demographics. What's the income and what's the population? That's where we put the restaurant. Same thing with our grocery stores when I was in the grocery business. We didn't break ground until we had all these demographics. So when I looked at this opportunity, what's the first thing I asked about? Demographics. So who are we catering to? Holy cow, there's a whole bunch of them. There's 11,000 people turning 65 across the United States and getting ready to retire every day. Holy cow. You mean there's 7,000 people getting ready to retire a month in the territory I was just showing you? Holy cow, we can't keep up with it. That's why I'm looking for some help, right? And these folks have a lot to protect. So specifically, if I were to show you a couple other slides here, the population growth. So in 2019, the population of seniors was 37 million. Okay. By 2020, it was 56. By 2030, which sounds far away, Jake, right? 2030, holy cow, that's only 4 years away. There'll be 73 million seniors, and then by 2040, there'll be 81 million. So, Kayla, the population I specifically specialize in, Austin, is doubling in 30 short years. That's why I have a big smile on my face. We can't keep up. I love it. Supply and demand, huge demand. All right, I like it. Now, along with the population growth, okay, these people have a very specific need when it comes to protecting their money. Your parents and grandparents are just like me. I work hard to provide myself with a lifestyle today, okay, Jake, but I'm also working hard to save and invest my money to provide me with a lifestyle in the future, right? It's not just about today, it's about the future. Well, Catherine, your parents and grandparents have done a good job. Somewhere between $55 and $75 trillion, Melanie, they've set aside for their retirement, Joshua. They want that money to be safe and secure, Kevin. Well, I'm going to be upfront with you. Between Medicare, Social Security, and retirement planning has become very complex, confusing. There's no HR departments giving people guidance anymore. They're out on their own. Okay, this has become a huge issue to make sure that they properly plan on how to utilize their money for the rest of their retirement. Make sure it's safe and secure, and whatever's left, Catherine, they want to transfer that to you. I told my parents I don't want anything. I said, spend it all. But most parents, my parents, talk about leaving. I don't want it. But they want to make sure it's safe and secure. So now I will tell you this. The last 10 or 12 years, things have gotten very complicated, and the need for financial advisors is huge. Okay? The demand for financial advisors is huge. Unfortunately, the advisors out there is shrinking, Melanie. So just when the demand is high, the amount of advisors out there is getting less. In fact, if you look to the left, it says almost half of the advisors are over 55 years old. And Joshua, they're retiring. Kevin, they're retiring. You know why they're retiring early? Because they have done a great job in their career. They've made some money. They've invested well. So they're retiring early. To be honest with you, Kevin, that's kind of why I got into this business. When I was in retail, I would ask people what they did for a living. And the ones that looked like they were the most relaxed and the most comfortable would always tell me, Steve, I was in the financial services industry. So, Catherine, after I heard that about 38 times, Joshua, I said, well, I need to check out financial services industry, and I'm glad I did 29 years ago, Chris, okay? So the industry as a whole, Alfonso, is not backfilling. What I mean by that, they're not replacing the people retiring. In fact, only 10% of the advisors are under 35. Now, I think my company's done a good job itself in the last 10, 12 years to do a good job isolating and finding folks who want to go down the path becoming investment advisors and financial advisors. And we'll groom you, we'll train you, we'll develop you, which I think is huge, Jake, right? Most companies say, yeah, you come to us when you've got all the licensing and all the knowledge, and we'll talk to you. No, we do this the opposite. We're willing to train and develop folks to go down that path because, one, it's much needed, and two, it's very lucrative. So people are pretty motivated. Okay. So again, very logically, there's a high demand, huge population. They have a high need for financial planning, but they also, their first concern, as I said, their first concern is healthcare. So Steve, when I transition from my working life to my retirement life, how's that work? I'm not sure. What's this Medicare? What's this Social Security? How's this work? Okay, well, that happens to be our specialty, Chris. Okay, so between Bankers, Colonial Penn, Humana, Aetna, Coventry, and Cigna, Alfonso, it's almost like I'm the only cell phone provider in the tri-state area. Your parents and grandparents have to see me, Tasha. So when they see me to say, Steve, how do I make that transition, Tabitha? I educate them, Alex. I provide them directions, Miss Warner. And when I do that, they go, wow, you're credible, knowledgeable, and you have solutions. I'm doing business with you. And then, Tasha, when I help them out with their first need, which is hospital and doctor's coverage, they're going to ask me, how else can you help me out, Steve? Can you help me with my life insurance, my prescription drugs? Can you help me get care at home when I come out of the nursing home? I don't want to go to the nursing home. I mean, out of the hospital. I don't want to go to the nursing home. I want to get care at home. Can you guys pay for the nurses and CNAs to come to me? Yeah, we have programs for that. And then last but not least, Tabitha, can you help me with my stocks, bonds, and mutual funds? Yeah. And that's why we're called financial professionals. We are financial professionals because we can help people in a myriad of ways. I like to think of us, Tasha, as the Walmart of financial services industry. When you walk into a Walmart, you get everything you need in there, Alex, right? You know, maybe you need a toaster and you go, oh, wait a minute, I need a tire for my car too. Oh, there it is. You know what? Maybe I could use a new TV. Yep, there it is. You get everything in a Walmart. Same thing for us. One-stop shopping. I can provide all the solutions for your parents and grandparents. That's why we're busy. Huge population, very specific needs, and I have all these solutions. Okay. So again, like I said, this is a broad overview. I can take a deeper dive at the next meeting, should it be warranted, about how these work and why they're important, et cetera, et cetera. So again, broad overview for today. So, Alex might say, well, Steve, that sounds cool. I'd like to be a financial advisor. I'd like to be a healthcare advisor and help people out and have them become my clients so I can help them now and in the future for the rest of their retirement. But how the heck do I learn how to do that? That's a great question, Alex. So let me just show you this real quick. And I show it to you quick, Tabitha. I'd rather take a deeper dive in the next meeting, myself or my teammates like Greg or Eric, because there's a lot to it. But I show you this outline just to give you some comfort in the fact, Tasha, we've got it lined up. This is the first year of training development. Okay, we're not winging it, Tabitha. We've got an outline to make sure you have a very clear strategy on how to learn, right? It's like a syllabus, right? Here's your syllabus for the first year. Now, depending on your skill sets and knowledge and your effort you put forth, well, maybe you're a fast learner, we'll go fast. Maybe you're a methodical learner, we'll go methodically. But we're not going to leave you behind. You are going to be well-trained, well-developed, and be able to be a great advisor. Because who wins on that game? Well, you win and we win, right? So the better you do, the better the company does. So we want you to be the best version of yourself. Bottom left corner, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but a lot of training magazines rank us very high. We rank in the top 100 of corporations in the whole world. Last time I looked, the world's pretty big, Tabitha, so that's pretty cool. Number 52 this year, to be exact. But along with that, I think what's really important is that studies have shown my teammates barely get off to a faster start than most companies. Jose, like 5 to 1, I believe is the last report I looked. 5 times more likely to get off to a fast start. That's the real accreditation I like. That's good to see. And this is why. All right, Mr. Grant, this is why. In the middle of this page, it's kind of a three-pronged attack. Malika, we train online. We train in the office a couple of days a week. And most importantly, Jose, you have your own coach and mentor to teach you and train you and develop you. Okay? Which is pretty big, John. It's a big investment on our part. But Dylan, you know what? It's worth it. We get a great return on our investment. People become successful. So if we thought it was a good fit, Kenneth, one of the first things that would happen is you got to get a license to do what we do, Lloyd. They don't just let anybody talk to your parents and grandparents, which is good. Keep the riffraff out, Alfonso. So you get a life and health license. Now, my company, Janae, is a little different than most companies because I'm just asking you to get some basic licensing. Okay, like I said, other companies will have you get all kinds of licenses you may never need, spend hours and hours and weeks studying, and if you fail the test, they kick you out. Yeah, that's not very nice. We're just looking to get some basic licensing, which is life and health, Alfonso. It probably takes about 25, 30 hours of studying to get the license. We would show you how to study. We would show you how to schedule the exam, get your fingerprints done. We would walk you through the process, Lloyd. It's about 30 to 35 hours of studying online, which is very convenient. For you folks that are working, it's online, so stay before or after work. For you folks that are not working, Brandon, well, guess what? If you folks aren't working, you got plenty of time to stay. Go at it. All right, Markel. So there you go. Now, I would say for you folks that are currently working, I wouldn't tell your current employer what you're doing until you pass the exam, Brandon, because until you pass the exam, you're not legal, you can't work here. Once you pass the exam, then I'd give my 2-week notice and say, hasta la vista, I'm out of here. And I'm going to be leaving the job, I'm going to be starting a career. And then what do, John? You roll into what Sales Essentials. And Brittany's Sales Essentials are 1-week certification class to certify that you can represent my company, CNO, Dylan. Okay, and it's a quick week because we want to hurry up and get you out there in the real world with your coach and mentor making clients. So that 1-week certification, Sales Essentials, teaches you how to book an appointment, how to do an interview, isolate people's needs and concerns, provide them with solutions, and create a client. In a week, we'll teach you how to do that. Now, the best part is once you've been certified by CNO and you've got your license in place, you're live. Brittany, you're going to Winner's Edge. Now, Winner's Edge is the first 90 days of learning and developing, Dylan. And I want to be clear, Lloyd. Okay, people will say, well, do I get paid during training? Okay, let me be clear. Winner's Edge, I consider your first year training, okay? And as soon as you come out of that certification class, you're live. You're certified to represent the company. Time to go make clients. Time to get paid. So, John, when you come out of that Sales Essentials class, time to make clients. Boom. After a week, it's time to go. And you're working with your coach and mentor, Dylan, so guess what? They're going to be making clients with you and through you, Lloyd, so they want to make clients. So, yeah, you're going to be making clients too, and you're getting paid. Okay. I would say the first 90 days, Winner's Edge, Malika, you're probably learning the basics, helping people out with basic needs, so to say, life and health. Okay, but then, John, and you're doing pretty good. You're pretty knowledgeable. You're pretty skillful. You'll be surprised what you've learned in 90 days, Alex. Bailey, then we're going to move to the next 90 days, advanced certifications. Tasha, those are more comprehensive programs, some post-hospital care, a little bit of financial planning. You're more knowledgeable, more skillful, you're more efficient. Guess what, Tabitha? You're making more money. How about that? Okay. So at the end of 6 months, you really, I've taught you a lot. Warner, you're learning the business, man. Now, at that point, Chris, I want to then sit down, Ms. Warner, and say, okay, which track do you feel, now that you've been in the business for 4 to 6 months, would be the best for you? Career agent, subject matter expert, helping people with Medicare? You would like to be a team leader, run your own sales team? Or would you like to be a financial advisor, investment advisor? Whatever track you think would be best for you, Chris, personally, professionally, financially, perfect. Your training development lifestyle will now be more specific to that, Melanie. Okay. Now, we'll continue to train you, develop you what you learned on the first 6 months because we got to continue to enhance your skill set and knowledge. But now your trainings will be more specific, Kevin. Maybe financial planning, Joshua. Maybe team leadership, Kevin. But by the end of the year, you have a solid base of knowledge, skills, so that you can have exponential growth your second and third year. While you've been making money, Austin. Let me be clear. At the end of the year, wow, I've made some good money while I've been learning. Pretty amazing. Okay. So that's what the training development looks like. It's pretty thorough. Like I said, I showed you all those people who had no experience before they started with us, and look what's going on with them now. I think it's pretty neat. So what do I want to show you here? Yeah, that's what I want to show you right there. So what I want to do is, if you know what you're talking about, Jake, let's talk about the reward scale. I'm going to talk about money, okay? Awesome. I'm going to talk about money. So what's the money opportunity here, which is the best reward you can get? I mean, don't get me wrong. Recognition, advancement, that's all nice too, right? But money pays for the lifestyle I want for my family. That's what motivates me. Okay. So I'm going to talk about money. So here, I want to give you a little perspective. So I have read in the latest journal that I read in, the average household income in the United States, that means all incomes, spouse, significant other, part-time, side gigs, Uber Eats and whatever else is going on out there. All those are different things. When you put all the incomes together, Kayla, the average household income in the United States, Austin, is $59,850. I'm just going to round up to 60 grand. 60 grand, the whole household. Okay, I wonder why things are tough out there. 60 grand, that's tough. Car payments, mortgage, gas, food, stuff. That's why people are looking for a great career opportunity. So what I want to talk to you about is, what if, instead of my whole household making 60 grand a year, what if I could make 60 grand while I was learning a brand new business all by myself? What would that look like? That'd be kind of cool. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the first 5-year average household incomes, not household incomes for us. I like to show people the first year for obvious reasons. Second year, I'm going to show you the growth. Third year, growth. And by the fourth or fifth year, I'm going to be up front with you, Kayla. People are really deciding what they want their incomes to be. I know that sounds odd, Austin, but you're deciding how big you want your business to be. I'm here to make it as big as you want, Jake, but everybody has different needs, right? Different income needs, different lifestyle needs, William. So I'm going to kind of show you that. So first one. Now, along with the company averages, I do have to prorate out a little bit, Brian. Our office, our region is, we're pretty successful. I don't want to brag or boast, but I can back it up. Typically, we rank in the top 5% in the whole company. So 240 branches, we rank in the top 10. I mean, that's pretty good. So I'm going to kind of prorate the incomes a little bit, because our incomes, even though they're above average for the in the company, our incomes are above average for the company. So I've got to prorate them out a little bit. All right, so with that, so let me show you this. So on average, my teammates, when they first starting out, Brian, they're making somewhere between $59,000 and $89,000 their first year, while they're learning the business. $59,000 to $89,000 while they're learning a brand new career. Second year, they're typically ranging somewhere between $78,000 and $128,000. By the third year, somewhere around $99,000 to $179,000. By the fourth or fifth year, my teammates are deciding what they want. They want $150,000, $250,000, $500,000. Do I have teammates that are making $500,000? Well, I had 2 of them I had meetings with today. If I combine their incomes from last year, their combined income was $892,000. $450 each. That's not bad, right? Even after taxes, that'll take care of the gas bill, right? So now, along with the money, it's based on effort, hard work, and a positive attitude, and the time you put into the business. But let me ask you this, Brian. I get you on my screen right here. Sometimes people will say, well, Steve, why do you have a range? Why is there a range of income, Steve? Well, I'll be right up front with you, Brian. If you did the job, if you did the work, and if you had the results where I should have paid you $89,000, but I only paid you $59,000, how would you feel about that, Brian?
Yeah, not too good.
Not too good. You don't want to be very motivated, right? Probably be disenfranchised one, probably not happy, right? So that's why, Austin, if you have the ability, Austin, to make $89,000, I'm paying you $89,000. If you have the ability to make $59,000, I'll pay you $59,000. If you have the ability to make $109,000 like Shane did his first year, I'll pay you $109,000. You get exactly what you deserve. Isn't that the way it's supposed to work? Yeah. So that's why there's a range, Brian. I'm not gonna put baby in the corner and say that's all you can make. You're gonna decide how much you want to make, and that's kind of the average. That's why there's a range there. Okay. So along with the income, which I'll be upfront with you, there's 10 revenue streams, Brian. That's why the income's above average. There's 10 different ways we pay you, Austin. We have bonuses, we have renewals, we have money going to your retirement account, we have prizes and promotions. We also have up to $20,000 of extra financial support when you start your business. There's an extra $20,000 kicker while you're learning the business. I think that's pretty good. It's a big investment on ours part, Jake, but guess what? That's why we have high retention. That's why we have people laser focused on the business, Kayla, and that's why they're successful. A company doesn't invest money, Melanie, if we don't get a good return. So we must get a good return on that $20,000. We do. So that's our goal, is to have our teammates make above average income the first year while they're learning, but then throughout the rest of their lives. Right? Pretty neat. Okay. Now, along with money, it's not just money, although money is handy, right? But it's also recognition. Melanie, we like to recognize our teammates on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis. You had a great week. Great. Maybe you're qualifying for $200 worth of Wawa cards to go get some gas. Maybe you had a great quarter. I'm gonna send you down to Florida to do some golfing, which is what I'm doing, right? I'm sending some people down to Florida. I'm gonna go golfing with them. Maybe you had a great year, Jake. We're gonna send you to Cabo San Lucas, 5-star resort for a week with a guest, all expenses paid. It's kind of nice scaling, right? So we're constantly looking for ways to reward you and award you for great. We had a regional meeting last week. Thousands of dollars being handed out, lots of recognition. That's just the way culture should be, Joshua. It should be recognizing great effort. People like that. It's good for culture. If it's good for culture, it's good for us, right? Just to remind you, a lot of you folks, Catherine said advancement. So just remember, if you want to go down the track where you're a subject matter expert, Kevin, on Medicare or Social Security, perfect. So 11,000 people a day turning 65 across the United States getting ready to retire. 7,000 a month in my area, Joshua. Okay. Lysel, if you wanted to go down the path of becoming a financial advisor, I just talked about there's trillions of dollars that need to be protected, and there's not enough financial advisors. And if you want to be a team leader, great, Alex. I don't have enough coaches. I need more coaches. The company continues to expand. You're going to have a good student-to-teacher ratio, 240 branches, 4,500 of us across the United States. Yeah, we're going to have some good coaches out there, too. So any one of those tracks would be very noble, very professional, and very lucrative, which is, I think, what people are looking for, right? So I think I went over what I wanted to. Let me just check my outline here. Let me see. So I told you we're busy. The market is big, growing rapidly. It's rich. We have the products and solutions for people. We take the time to train and develop you so you can be the best version of yourself. We pay very well. You know, you're a quarterback, Alex. You have 60 touchdowns a year, maybe 10 interceptions. I bet you're making about $60 million a year, right? Yeah, we're gonna pay you well. We're not letting you go anywhere else, right? That's why tenure is high and success is high, right? And then recognition and professional advancement. I think that adds to the culture of positivity. So that's what we talked about today. When I look at my notes, Werner. So some of you folks are going, okay, that's cool, Steve. So you said something's next. I go, yeah, there is something next. Let's talk about what's next. Let me get to my what's next slide, which I think is this slide, right? Yeah, right there. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to set up a time to answer your questions. So Joshua, in a couple minutes, I'm going to give you my cell phone number. I'm going to ask you to send me a text, okay? And on that text, you're going to say, Steve, I find this interesting and intriguing. I know there's no guarantee I can work there. I know there's no obligation to work there, but I'd like to get some more information. Now, you don't have to say all that. I'm just giving you the intention. Your cliff notes would be, Steve, I'm interested to go to the next step and gather some more information. And then we'd reach out to you, Kevin, set a time to meet with you again by Zoom, Catherine, because we like to keep things efficient and we like to get things done quickly. Time's of the essence. We're busy, you're busy. And then review and answer your questions. And in a smaller group. You know, typically during the course of the week, we'll meet with 100 people on these meetings. And out of those 100 people, we usually choose about 30, 35 people to meet with to answer the questions. But again, our time's pretty tight, so we'll still end up meeting with 3 or 4 of you at the same time to answer your questions, which will be very efficient and very effective. At the end of that meeting, you'll have a very good idea of whether or not this is something you want to talk about further. And then we'd set up a time for you to meet with our teammates, Kevin, get a tour of the office, see if the timing makes sense, and then get started studying. I mean, that's what we would do. That's how uniform we are, how efficient we are. So in a couple minutes, like I said, Alex, I'm going to give you my cell phone. So you're going to text me, Steve. I find this interesting.
Okay, so basically what you heard was what I've been hearing all the time. It's multi-level marketing. You go through a training, and then this particular situation here, I don't know what you got to pay for to get your license or something like that. Like when I had to pay, when I had to get my paraprofessional license, that was a couple bucks because I had to get the fingers printed and whatever. So that was that. And the limo job, that was paid training. They paid you for the couple of days that you was at. It all depends. Again, the people you're trying to reach out to is actually me. You're trying to reach out to guys who are baby boomers. That's what I am. I'll be 65 heavenly willing this year. I'm the one he's looking for. So, if anybody going to know about what they need to be learning about, it should be me. But a lot of things he mentioned, I did already. I invested in the market. I invested in this, invested in that, blah, 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 blah. I could be better off right now if I wanted to put more effort into what I'm doing. But, I ain't worked 36 years for SEPTA to all of a sudden I got to grind like I worked at SEPTA. So I might as well stay at SEPTA. So for me, I just wanted to really get enough information to see if I can use his information to make what I'm really trying to do, which is music and all that stuff. I'm just going to start grinding my music. I'm really got to start just really reaching out and really, like I said, start reaching more overseas. I reach a lot overseas because I got a couple other pages that kind of look at me as RaJuR, like I'm an Indian. RaJuR is a city in India. They kind of reach out to me like that. I'm like, a lot of Indian people reaching out to me because they actually think I'm Indian. But that's what I have to do. I think I really have to hustle myself. I have my own business. What he's talking about is exactly what I need. So I don't need to turn somebody else on to something that I need particularly. But I'll listen. I'll check it out. But no, what I need to do is get this up and running, get this popping, get these acting jobs. I just put in for a couple acting jobs. And that's what I need to do. So we'll see what's up. In the meantime, I'm still going to be looking at other things to do. I only took that because I thought it'd be a position that you'll come out, to get you up and running, you train, or you just do what you got to do. So, I was in King of Pressure. So I'm like, all right, cool. I was in King of Pressure. But for the most part, I got to run. I got a thing I got to do. Like a lot of thing that, look into multi-level marketing. And then, you do this, you do that, you learn, they put you out in the streets. They have you, doing the hustle, not just for them, but for you. And it seems like a decent company. I never heard of them. I heard of the people they work with. I never heard of bankers. So I thought it'd be a place that you can just go, blah, 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 blah. I like the 2 days working from home. That would be straight. So we'll see. I told him to text me, told him I missed it. Let me know what's up. I told him I wanted to be a boss. And at the very end, he told me you should be a boss. And he's talking about the boss people. No, I didn't want to be a boss. I like to work by myself. I like to be a boss myself. Like this place, when I was with SEPTA, I worked by myself at SEPTA, being a yardman. When I was a makeup guy, I worked by myself. I like working by myself. I don't like to babysit people. I don't want nobody else sabotaging what I'm trying to do. I like working by myself. So when I say a boss, later on, you're going to say, well, this is not about being a boss. Well, if you're training us to start our own business, what would I be? A boss. So I don't understand that. And then he didn't want to say my name. He's saying everybody else's name for a while. I'll start to text him like, yo, am I on the screen? Am I still here? You haven't mentioned my name yet. And then shortly after I said that, he mentioned my name. So no, I'm gonna say what I got to say. Again, that's my problem. I'm gonna say what I got to say, but I'm not gonna give up my integrity. I'm not gonna give up what I really think and do just to be a slave to somebody else. Look, I don't get down like that. So they ain't gotta pick me. They ain't gotta call me back for real. Because I don't want to be paying for no licenses and all this stuff. I ain't got no time for that unless I know I'm going to get this gig and do what I got to do. I got other things I got to do. But other than that, it was interesting. I figured I'd just turn y'all on to an interview from time to time. I turned y'all those other interviews as well. But I got to run. I got to make moves. I got to make money moves. And I got to start promoting my studio a little bit more so I can get some people back here in the studio so they can start making some music. So I can start producing. And I can start making money off them making music. And they buy my tracks. And I got to do that. So I got to go. How's your boy? 100 bars. Jiggy jaggy, wiggy wiggy. I'm out of here, bars.